Episode 50. Time splits them. They make the deal together. That is the mistake. Ethan realizes it the moment the pressure responds to both of them at once. They are standing in the underpass at 3:07. Concrete walls sweating from the heat. Traffic roaring overhead in uneven waves. The place is unremarkable enough to be ignored, which is why Ethan chose it. No witnesses who would remember clearly. No cameras pointed directly at where they stand. Maya is beside him, arms folded tightly across her chest. She should not be here. He told her not to come. "I won't let you do this alone," she said, and for a moment he almost believed that mattered. The pressure gathers behind Ethan's eyes first. Dense. Familiar. The system recognizing a known variable. He steadies his breathing, grounding himself the way he has learned. Then something unexpected happens. The pressure widens. It stretches sideways. Touches Maya too. She gasps softly, one hand flying to her temple. "You feel that?" she asks. Ethan's stomach drops. "Yes," he says quietly. "That has never happened before. Selection has always been precise. Singular. Focused. This is different. This is shared." Maya swallows. "So it's real." Ethan closes his eyes briefly. "I told you it was," he says. They do not hold hands. They do not make any dramatic gestures. They simply stand close enough that their shadows overlap on the damp concrete. The pressure tightens. Not aggressively. Curiously. Time is evaluating a joint variable. Ethan speaks first because he always does. "We're not asking to escape," he says evenly. "We just need to continue." The words feel thin the moment they leave his mouth. Maya inhales sharply. "We'll take the cost," she adds quickly. "Whatever it is." Ethan turns toward her. "You don't know what you're saying." She meets his eyes. "Neither do you. That hasn't stopped you before." The pressure spikes. Not anger. Alignment. Ethan understands the mistake now. Negotiation is not additive. It is divisive. Time does not average risk. Separates it. He opens his mouth to stop her. Too late. The pressure resolves. Not into relief. Into division. Sound splits first. The roar of traffic overhead fractures into two overlapping rhythms that do not sync. Ethan's ears ring as his brain struggles to reconcile them. Maya staggers. Ethan reaches for her instinctively. His hand passes through empty air. Not resistance. Not distortion. Just absence. "Ethan?" Maya's voice comes from his left. No, from his right. From both. He spins. Maya is standing 2 steps away. Also 3 steps behind him. Both versions are real. Both are breathing. Both are looking at him with the same fear. The pressure is gone. Completely. They survived. That is the gain. Ethan's heart hammers violently. This is not how time corrects. This is not removal. This is not cost paid forward. This is something else. "Maya," he says carefully. Both of her heads turn at the same time. "Yes?" They answer, voices slightly out of sync. Ethan's vision swims. He forces himself to focus. Not on spectacle. On consequence. The two Mayas are not duplicates. He can feel it instinctively. They are not copies. They are continuations. Each one slightly skewed. "Don't move," Ethan says. They both freeze. The air hums faintly, like 2 frequencies interfering. Ethan takes a step forward. Only one Maya steps back. The other remains still, eyes narrowing slightly. "Which one of you is real?" Ethan asks, hating himself for the question. Both answer immediately. "I am." The underpass feels wrong now. Not visually. Structurally. The space is accommodating 2 incompatible continuities without collapsing. That is not sustainable. Ethan feels a faint pressure flicker again. Not selection. Accounting. Time is finalizing placement. "Maya," Ethan says slowly. "Listen to me." One version of her tilts her head. The other clenches her jaw. They are already diverging. "You're both alive," Ethan continues. "But you're not going to stay together." Understanding dawns on one face faster than the other. "No," one Maya whispers. "Yes," the other says flatly. Ethan swallows. "This is the cost," he says. "Shared survival." The pressure returns for a fraction of a second. Then snaps away. The world lurches. Ethan stumbles and catches himself against the wall. When he looks up, there is only one Maya. She stands directly in front of him, breathing hard. The other is gone. Not erased. Placed. Ethan knows this without being told. Maya, he says hoarsely. Can you hear me? Yes, she replies immediately. Too immediately. Her response lands before his sentence fully ends. Timing mismatch. His chest tightens. Which one are you? He asks. Maya's eyes flicker. I don't know how to answer that, she says. That is the wrong answer. They leave the underpass together. Above ground, the city looks normal. Too normal. Ethan watches carefully for anomalies. He sees them immediately. Crosswalk signals change a second too early for Maya. She steps forward before the light turns green, then stops, confused. I thought it, she begins. Wait, Ethan says, grabbing her arm. The light changes. A beat late. Maya pulls her arm back gently. Did you see that? Yes, Ethan says. The divergence is subtle, but consistent. They walk in silence. At a cafe, Maya orders coffee before the barista finishes asking. At the register, the screen updates before Ethan taps his card. Their timelines are misaligned by fractions of seconds. Enough to matter. Enough to compound. 3:07. Ethan feels nothing. Maya flinches. What? He asks. She shakes her head. It felt like something just checked on me. Ethan's stomach drops. Time is no longer tracking them as a unit. It has split the debt. They sit at a table by the window. People move past outside, unaware of the fracture threading invisibly between the two of them. We survived, Maya says quietly. Yes, Ethan replies. But not together, she adds. Ethan does not argue. He is watching her hands. They tremble slightly, not from fear, from adjustment. You're ahead, he says. Ahead of what? Of me, Ethan replies. Of now. Maya frowns. Then why do I feel like I'm always reacting? Because reaction depends on reference, Ethan thinks. And reference has been severed. He realizes something else then. This is not a multiverse. This is a split relationship. Two people bound by a single negotiation placed on incompatible temporal tracks. Close enough to interact. Too far to synchronize. You shouldn't have come, Ethan says softly. Maya meets his gaze. You would have died. Yes, Ethan says. But you wouldn't be this. She looks away. Outside, a car horn blares. Maya winces. The sound arrives wrong for her. Ethan feels the weight of the system settle around them again. Not threatening, just final. They are both alive. The gain has been granted. The cost is unfolding. They will drift further apart with every shared moment, each interaction amplifying the misalignment. Time did not punish them. It optimized them separately. Ethan understands the rule now. Shared negotiation does not produce shared survival. Produces divergence. And divergence does not announce itself with spectacle. It announces itself with distance. Measured in seconds. Measured in glances that no longer line up. Measured in moments one of them experiences alone, just early enough or late enough to be unreachable. Ethan looks at Maya. She is sitting right in front of him. Already, she feels farther away than anyone he has ever lost. At 3:07, somewhere ahead of him or behind him, time has already moved on. And it has taken them with it. Separately. The distance grows without moving. That is the first thing Ethan learns. They walk side by side, shoulders almost brushing. Yet the city refuses to align around them in the same way twice. Sounds reach them at different moments. Movements complete for one before the other registers them. Even shadows behave inconsistently, stretching or shrinking just enough to betray the fracture. Maya stops suddenly at a crosswalk. Ethan keeps walking for half a step before realizing she is no longer beside him. Why did you stop? He asks. She looks startled. The light changed. Ethan turns. The signal is still red. A second later, it flips green. Maya exhales sharply. That's not normal. No, Ethan agrees. It's compounding. They wait through the cycle again, standing apart without intending to. When they cross this time, Ethan feels the delay more clearly. His body wants to move before hers. Her body reacts before his. They are no longer sharing now. They are overlapping it imperfectly. At the cafe, the gap widens. Maya reaches for her cup before the barista sets it down. Her fingers close around air. Then the cup appears beneath them a heartbeat later. She flinches and pulls back as hot liquid sloshes dangerously close to her skin. Ethan steadies the cup with his own hand. Their fingers touch. For a moment, the world snaps into focus. Not alignment. Resonance. The pressure flickers faintly, not behind Ethan's eyes this time, but between their hands. Maya gasps. Did you feel that? Yes, Ethan says, releasing her immediately. The moment breaks. The cafe noise returns, uneven again. A laugh from a nearby table arrives too early for Ethan, too late for Maya. They sit down. Maya wraps her hands around the cup, knuckles whitening. We can fix this, she says. Ethan does not answer right away. He is watching the clock behind the counter. The seconds tick unevenly, not skipping, staggering. We already fixed it, he says finally. That's the problem. Maya shakes her head. This is just calibration. It'll settle. Ethan looks at her. Her face is familiar, but the timing of her expressions is wrong. Concern arrives before he finishes speaking. Understanding lands before he explains. Frustration follows too late to be useful. No, he says quietly. It won't. She leans forward. You don't know that. I do, Ethan replies. Because time doesn't compromise. It separates. Maya looks away, jaw tight. They leave the cafe without finishing their drinks. On the street, the divergence becomes dangerous. A cyclist swerves toward them. Ethan hears the shout first. He reacts immediately, grabbing Maya's arm and pulling her back. She stumbles, furious. What are you doing? The cyclist passes exactly where she had been standing. A second too late. Maya stares at the empty space. I didn't hear anything, she whispers. Ethan releases her arm slowly. That's the cost, he says. I'll always react first. Or you will. But never together. They walk in silence after that. Each block feels longer than the last, not in distance but in effort. Maintaining proximity requires concentration now. If one of them slows unconsciously, the other drifts ahead. Not physically, temporally. 3:07 Ethan feels nothing. Maya stiffens. Her breath catches. There, she says softly. It's checking again. Ethan's chest tightens. For me, she adds. The words land heavily. Time has completed the split. They are no longer a shared variable. They are two accounts with linked history but separate balances. They stop under a tree in a small park. Children play nearby. A dog barks. The world continues with indifference that feels deliberate. Maya rubs her temples. It's getting louder, she says. What is? The gaps, she replies. Moments keep slipping past me. Ethan watches her closely. Her pupils dilate and contract slightly out of sync with the light. Her breathing stutters, then corrects itself. You're ahead, he says again, which means you'll start losing things sooner. Like what? Context, Ethan replies. Continuity. People. She laughs weakly. That's reassuring. I'm not trying to reassure you. She meets his gaze. Then what are you trying to do? Ethan hesitates. Prepare you. The word settles between them. Maya looks away first. I thought doing it together would protect us, she says. Shared cost. Shared survival. That's human logic, Ethan replies. Time doesn't work that way. She turns back to him, anger flaring. Then why did it let us? Ethan answers without hesitation. Because survival was not the problem, he says. Stability was. They sit on a bench. The bench creaks at two different moments beneath their weight. Maya laughs once, sharp and bitter. This is insane. Yes, Ethan agrees. And it's going to get worse. How much worse? Ethan considers. Eventually, we won't be able to stand this close without interference, he says. Our presence will create micro-corrections, accidents, misfires. She looks at him, alarm dawning. You mean people could get hurt? Yes. Because of us? Because of between us. The distinction matters. Maya swallows hard. Silence stretches. Not shared. Parallel. She breaks it first. So what happens now? Ethan closes his eyes briefly. We stop trying to live in the same moments, he says. Her voice trembles. You're saying we separate. Ethan finishes. Not emotionally. Functionally. She stands abruptly. The movement is too fast for him. He reacts a beat later, reaching out instinctively. His hand closes around nothing. She is already 3 steps away. She turns back, breathing hard. I won't do that. Ethan rises slowly. Maya. No, she snaps. You don't get to decide this. I'm not deciding, he says. I'm observing. She shakes her head, eyes shining. I won't be edited out of your life. Ethan feels something fracture inside him. This isn't an edit, he says softly. It's a divergence. She laughs again, tears spilling now. You always make it sound so clean. It isn't clean, Ethan says. It's survivable. She looks at him like he has betrayed her. Maybe he has. At 3:07, the pressure flickers briefly between them like static. A child nearby trips and falls, scraping their knee. The sound of crying arrives early for Maya, late for Ethan. They both freeze. Ethan understands immediately. This is it, he says. This is what happens when we stay too close. Maya looks around, horrified. We did that. No, Ethan replies. But we made it easier. The system is not punishing them. It is protecting the larger continuity by increasing the cost of their proximity. Maya backs away slowly. Each step she takes feels heavier, not emotionally but structurally, as if the space between them is thickening. I don't want to lose you, she says. Ethan's voice breaks for the first time. You already are. She stops several meters away. The park feels suddenly too large, too open. They are still looking at each other, still talking, still connected. But the thread between them has stretched thin enough to vibrate. We both survived, Maya says, as if repeating a promise. Yes, Ethan replies. But not the same life, she whispers. No. They stand there, neither moving, afraid of what distance will do and what closeness already is. Ethan knows how this ends. Not with a dramatic separation, with drift, with missed calls, with conversations that no longer overlap, with moments one of them experiences alone, just early enough or late enough to be unreachable. Time does not tear them apart. It lets them pull away gently until the tension disappears. At 3:07, Ethan feels the silence settle. Maya does not react this time. That is the final confirmation. Time has finished splitting them. Ethan turns first. He walks away without running. Behind him, Maya remains where she is, already a fraction of a second out of reach. They are both alive. The negotiation succeeded. The cost has been paid in parallel. And the distance between them will now grow quietly, efficiently, without spectacle. Exactly the way time prefers.